Good afternoon, Laker fans. It is January 27th, 2019. It's an absolutely beautiful Sunday afternoon in Southern California. And the Lakers be struggling. And it's really hard to be a fan sometimes, and it's definitely hard to be a Laker fan right now. I am Rachel A. Smith, your hostess, and welcome to my channel, the RAS.Laker Girl, your proper Laker news resource for everything Lakers. Just a really cursory update before tonight's or this evening's game. Um, so last week, Monday night, it was Lakers 111, Warriors 130, understaffed. Thursday night, we did get Rajon Rondo back in action. Of course, expect those limited minutes. We'd like to not re-injure that hand. Lakers 105, Timberwolves 120. It's been a tough week. Both games were the same. Lakers are understaffed. Lakers, lots of injuries going around. We did hang for the first half of both games. However, just gassed out with our limited staff. Tonight, the Lakers host the Suns at Staples Center. It's an early 6:30 p.m. Sunday game. Usually they wear their Thunder white jerseys, and they are coming up against those Phoenix Suns. They have an 11-40 losing record. They are 15th in the Western Conference. They are 2 spots above the current worst team in the league, and that would be the Cavs. They are 9-41. They beat us. One of those wins is against us, and that's just lousiness by the Lakers, by the way. But the Suns are coming off a 7-game losing streak and a 95-132 loss to the Denver Nuggets and the Joker. He is quite a fun center to watch. And basically, the Suns have Laker problems, except they don't have those early season wins or any groove that we managed to get, no matter how small. We did have a little bit. We have winning record after all. Number 1 draft pick DeAndre Ayton is out with a bad ankle. They're burning out several of their young players. Dragan Bender, Ellie Akobo, and Josh Jackson. They are all starters. They should have been coming off the bench the duration of the season. Their best guy right now would be Devin Booker, point guard. He did score 35 points against the Joker and the Nuggets last night in their prior game. However, well, he can turn it on for a point guard. He only had, I believe, 3 assists for that game. He averages under 4 assists per game for the season, and that's from their best point guard. But he can score 35. He can turn it on. Both prior games have been good for the Lakers defense and offense as far as playing against the Suns go. They've been able to get their own game going and basically take command of the game. The Suns are struggling that much, even with DeAndre Ayton, which both games prior they did have him on the floor. Lakers just need to focus on supreme execution. Each player needs to take on their role, take it seriously, and play that role to heart. We tend to do well against all odds when players do take their roles very seriously and play that one man, one response, obligation kind of game. The current state, again, the Suns are slow. I think they're going for that number 1 draft pick again coming up at the end of the season. If not, then they need to definitely rethink some of their strategies. So what do the Lakers got? Well, similarly, we have Lonzo Ball out. He's going to be out a month with that third-degree sprained ankle. LeBron James is a game-to-game decision. He is not going to play tonight against the Suns. Rajon Rondo has returned. Expect limited minutes. And Kyle Kuzma is questionable for tonight. He's our big-time scorer. But that causes damage, and he does have a sore hip. Josh Hart will play, but he does have a troubling knee. So we have quite a lot of injuries going around. A lot of teams are struggling. A lot of players are getting the bad news on those season-ending injuries. Victor Oladipo is the hardest one to hear. I'm really sorry about that injury. I wanted to see him play a lot more through the season. But basically, this is the NBA. Any team can win any game, any night. We all need to remember the NBA consists of the top 450 players in the world. Of course, you can argue some players shouldn't be there and some players should that aren't, but nonetheless, these are the elite of the elite for whatever reason. And any of these guys can turn it on and have a pretty seriously excellent NBA game any night and take their team with them. So, and basically, statistics and game wins are markers. They're basically just general measurements to let us know what's going on. So that's why the Lakers need to be a little more cautious against the Suns, not take it for granted. Definitely shake out any cobwebs they may have. This is a game they can run it out and really enjoy their offense. They might as well and just take the win. This is one of those games that they should win, even though we're both understaffed. Lakers are clearly a better team, even understaffed than the Suns were full staff. So let's keep that in mind. So where are we now? Where are we now? Those poor Lakers. They are 20. We have a 25-24 losing record. That be dwindling LeBron. We are ninth in the Western Conference, really 10th, really tied for ninth. Coming off a couple lousy losses. But these are actually losses to pretty good teams we may encounter in the playoffs should we decide to bring it up again. And get back in the playoffs. Of course we will. LeBron is coming. We do have a long season ahead of us. We are just barely crossing the midpoint of the season. But we have missed 15 games without LeBron James. We have a 5-10 record without him. So we do need him back. It was lovely to see the young core doing their work. But you know what? We need the veterans to get back and start doing what we brought them here to do. It's just been too much of a bumpy ride for our young core. And it's time to get back to supporting their efforts. So Coach Luke Walton, everything's a rumor now. There really are no names running around the league as far as a quality replacement should Luke Walton become fired or dismissed or what have you. And also, it'd be very difficult to draw a lot of the young talent we're trying to acquire. This ring-bound talent that we're trying to acquire in the new postseason or what have you, even before the trade deadline, which I will speak more about in the upcoming week as it nears. But the point being, young players want to play for Luke Walton, not necessarily for LeBron James. A lot of guys are gun shy about playing with LeBron James, a lot of young guys. However, with a coach like Luke Walton, who shows he can take over the team, especially in the absence of LeBron James, and even when LeBron James is present, he's able to mold the team and kind of ease the team into some quality plays and some coordinated playing. I just think he's a better bet than anything else that's out there right now. And then, of course, the coach that Magic Johnson wants would be a coach that he had, which is not really an applicable coach to the younger guys, nor is it an applicable coach to the newest kind of NBA that we're falling into. So I really don't know. I have to do a little more research on it. I'm not confident speaking on it. But rumors and gossip can often be true. I just know there's frustration with the coach. I don't think you can make any judgment calls on the season right now, other than don't draft Melo or don't pick up Melo. I mean, I don't want to pick up any player that has been through the Cavs. Now, the Cavs are so awful right now. They'll take a trade player to you with draft picks and then buy him out. That's what Patrick Beverley did. Basically, you're untradeable from the Warriors, so they trade you to the Cavs, and the Cavs pay you for the guy, and you give them draft picks, or you pay them to take the guy, and then basically you give him his walking papers in the next 10 days, whatever that waiting period is. So they've done it with Patrick Beverley. I believe they're supposed to do it with Carmelo Anthony. I don't want any of those guys that basically nobody wanted. Sorry, dudes, but I think it's a bad game mover unless you really have somebody that wants to really, really pick you up for a very specific number. But yeah, so tonight the Lakers just got to do their absolute best with what they got. And I don't think they've got too bad of a set available to them, even in the absence of our big scorer Kyle Kuzma against the Suns, especially with our tight defense. I I just think we could close this win despite the circumstances. It's not going to be fun. These guys, even when they are winning and even when they're playing aggressively and running the ball and looking just beautiful, and, you have B.I. dunking and you even have Lance Stevenson dancing and what have you. It's an exciting season. They really don't look that great. This team is all about just playing to win and not really going for that beauty shot or, posterizing. We don't have a lot of that going on this season, but we've actually been able to accomplish a lot. So I'm not that worried about the Lakers as long as when LeBron comes back, we're ready for him to come back. And he's ready to work when he comes back. It's don't waste out your player. We're watching. Just keep your guy on James Harden. He's scoring about 50 points a night, some 30 points a night, or 30 to 50 points a night for some ridiculous 20 or 30 games number. The demand on a player like that is psychologically, it's battering, and we've seen it from the pressure our young guys have taken for just a couple extra points and a little more consistency without LeBron James and without Rajon Rondo. Imagine that in and out every night on a single player. I was watching the Rockets game and this past weekend, and they were up by 20 points at the end of the third, and I couldn't understand why Harden was still playing until he was out the first 2 minutes of the fourth, and that 20-point lead completely vanished. We need a little more quality from our team. I think we have it to hold that line. Not as much as I'd like, and I really need to look at what our trade prospects are because our team does need some things. So, good night, Lakers. Good luck tonight, Lakers. I know you can take this win, and hang in there, Laker fans. We got LeBron coming back, game-to-game decision, and we'll see how that goes. So, I am Rachel A. Smith, and thanks for watching my channel, the RAS.LakerGirl, and good night, my lovelies.